Are you ready for Combat Night?
Hi, Mitchell Chamale here, sitting in studio with the one, the only, the champ, John Michael Morea. Guys, we have a lot of guys that become champions with us, but champ is a very special title to earn with us. It's not often that guys win belts in multiple divisions, and John was actually going to win fights. Well, maybe not. Well, technically he did win a third belt in the welterweight division. His opponent pulled out the day of the fight. If you ask me, that counts as a win. So maybe he's the champ, the triple champ. But John Morea, man, nice to have you in here.
Yeah, guys, thanks for having me here. Super excited to chop it up with you guys, and grateful for just another opportunity to express myself and be part of the Combat Night team.
Dope, man. Yeah, we love having you, John. So you've had a total of, I think all your fights have been with Combat Night, correct?
A little USA boxing, but all the cage fights is definitely with
all the real fights.
Yeah, for sure.
You had a couple kickboxing fights with us, and then you have 6 MMA fights.
Correct.
And I think you were scheduled for 9. You've
had a lot.
You've had some really bad luck.
Yeah. Honestly, like my journey with you guys has been crazy, but one thing I can say is I've never said no. I've always showed up, whoever it was, whatever rule said it was. If I trained for it or not, I still took the opportunity to learn and grow.
Yeah, I tell fighters all the time that if you really want to make it in this game, you should always be ready, and you should take everything that comes your way as an amateur.
100%.
Of course, within reason, but if you have one fight and the guy has 2 fights, take it.
Yeah.
If you're a boxer and the guy's a wrestler, take it. And you have done just that. I mean, even to the point where it was the day of the fight, your opponent again pulled out. So he's had 2 guys do this to him, and you really wanted to fight. And one of your now friends and teammates, Mikey Conlon, said, I'll throw down with you. And I think Mikey was just about to make his pro debut.
Yeah, and something happened with that.
Yeah, so he had like 12 fights.
Yeah, what was funny too is like we were at weigh-ins the day before, and I never actually met him in person, but we kept like eye contact, like here and there. And I felt he knew Chris Miction, who was around me the whole way, and he was helping me with all of it. So him and Chris were chopping it up, and I could just feel this energy. I'm very unique with that. I can feel energy in the room with people, with situations. And I just felt like something was up. And we did find someone who did show up to weigh-ins, and we faced off, but then he didn't show up on fight night. So then me and Chris were talking. I was like, yo, what's up with Mikey? It's like, I feel like we could make something happen tonight. And we did. Yeah,
it was an amazing fight.
Yeah, it was.
I want to ask you about something in that moment. So when the bell, when the final bell rang, how did you feel? Did you feel like you had won the fight? Did you feel like it was a close fight? Did you feel like Mikey won? What was in your heart at that moment?
I felt that I ran out of time, honestly.
Okay.
Because I was definitely in better conditioning than him. I'd never been in a kickboxing fight, so I learned so much in those 6 minutes. And it was a great fight. Like, I think I had won. I think he won 2. And then third, I think that I won third. But either way, it was, there was no weigh-in. It was just, we both won that night. We were able to get some experience. We both got to show a little bit of our skills, express ourselves, and we both grew from it. I came out healthy. I'm pretty sure he did for the most part. So that's what matters.
Yeah. So that's one of the very few instances that we've, Miles, our announcer, has made a mistake.
Yeah.
How did that, what was those, it was only a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
But how did that feel? I have to know.
I mean, you saw the picture. I was so happy because, I felt like I just came in the Combat Night, and he had like 13 or 14 fights. And realistically, this was probably like my first fight because I had a bad injury after my first fight with y'all in 2022. I'd snapped my radius bone. So I was out for over a year, and I wasn't active. It took me a while to get back. I had a titanium rod put in, then I had it taken out. So then really like this was like my first fight where I really got active with you guys. Because after Mikey, I went on whatever was offered from there. I think it was like 7 or 8 fights since.
Yeah, in like 2-year span.
Yeah. So like, but yeah, when the bell rang, I was excited. But then they turned it around and gave it to Mikey, and they were like, okay. And then Mikey came over to me and he dapped me up. He's like, yeah, it was a good fight. Like he knew that it could have went either way. And I was happy we were able to make something happen. Because when you sell tables and you have people come, it's like I just want to fight at this point. Like, I don't even care whoever you put in there.
Yeah.
Win or lose. It's just like, I'm there to get better. Like you said, the amateur scene, it's all about growing and learning. And I knew he had more experience and it was going to be a tough task, but I did learn a lot in that 6 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't look, I mean, you looked irritated, like, ah, man, but Mixon looked mad. he looked very upset.
Yeah. I don't even want to, I don't want to go there. Yeah. He was not happy. He wasn't happy.
I know he found a ring post and he punched the ring post.
Yeah, he did.
But hey, it's your boy, you know, I always say I'm more stressed out and I have more anxiety.
Yeah. Which
is all I get to do anymore when I watch my friends fight. Instead of being the one fighting. It's like, I know I'm in control when I'm fighting.
And then, like, even last weekend in Charlotte, I went to Chris Mixon, watched his PFL fight with Kenley. Shout out Chris, great performance. But I was there and I had floor seats and I was so nervous. I couldn't even sit down. I was right up on the cage and Ray Sefro had to turn around and tell me to sit down because I was literally standing like on the edge, like right behind them, like watching this, like being a little vocal here and there. But I just so nerve wracking because that kid works so hard. I know he's a world level talent and it's just a matter of him going out and putting together that masterpiece every time he fights. So it was nerve wracking to me. Like, I can't control anything, but I'm here for it and I'm living through that, you know, that chaos.
Yeah, it's a unreal feeling. Just like fighting is a unique and special feeling in itself. Watching your best friend or your brother or someone you put the blood, sweat, and tears in with. I hate it.
And he got me into this game. We literally just started running. We both live in Palm Coast at the time, but he like slid up on a Snapchat. He's like, hey, let's get a run in. And he beat me that day on a run. And ever since, I never let that guy beat me in a run ever again. But he got me in the gym. And it started with a little bit of Muay Thai with Dylan Radford, John Radford. Shout out to them. And then we wanted to get the hands sharper. So I started boxing. And then, Chris moved out to Colorado. But he was a huge influence. And he started, like, he ignited the candle.
Okay. What year was that?
2020-ish is when I started training.
Okay.
So again, I've only been competing for like 3 years maybe. But I started training in 2020, which is 5 years ago. So I'd be 22 when I started training.
And a year-long injury.
Yeah. On and off. Cause I had the rod put in and I actually took the first fight. I got the guillotine I had the titanium rod in this dude's carotid when I finished him. And when I let go of it, like my arm was in tingles. The adrenaline took over the moment, but I could feel it. Like after the fight, I was like, yo, I gotta get this thing taken out if I'm gonna keep fighting. Cause I know I had him in mount too. And I hit him a bunch of times and I could just feel like the nerves, like you're not supposed to have foreign objects in your body.
No.
So 7 screws, the rod had to get taken out, which took time between Mikey and Gregory Perot or whatever his name was. Yeah, Perot. And that was that gap there. And then ever since then with you guys, just been active ever since.
Yeah, you've been very active with us. We love guys like that, guys that we can call. I mean, I think we've a couple of your opponents happened on like week of, because people pulling out, you know, different things like that. But yeah, you're the type of fighter that we love working with. You're professional. You know how to promote yourself, and you're always ready.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I mean that too. There's probably only, and 24 might sound like a lot to the listeners, but when we're dealing with hundreds of fighters every year, to say that 24 guys are just always ready for that smoke. They always want it. And, you know, we're talking about across, 7 or 8 different weight classes. So it's not like,
for sure.
It's really not a lot of people that are like that.
And like 95% of the work you do for this life is alone, guys. So if you're a fighter and you're watching this, just know that all the work you do behind the scenes when nobody's watching, that's what's going to make you. That's what's going to fortify your mind to be able to take tough challenges and go into uncertain situations, whether it's a tough opponent or not, whether it's a style that you might not be confident about fighting or not. Like, it's all built by yourself, going through hard things. You're running the miles, doing the saunas, swimming, early mornings, late nights, extra training sessions, going into any gym, any room, and just being able to learn. Because I mean, that's what comfortability will get you killed in this game. You got to keep evolving. You got to keep pushing yourself. Someone's going to figure it out. You've seen how much this game's evolved over the last 5-10 years. You got pro level talent in the amateurs now. Like, you see it all the time. These amateur fights are pro level skills. So
yeah, and I agree with you, man. To me, comfort equals death. In business, it's not just fighting; it's in life in general. That someone who's always looking for comfort, you can't be looking for comfort and looking for success.
Doesn't work.
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
and you might get a little bit of comfort after that success. But
Mhm.
if you hang out with that comfort for too long, the success fades away.
Everything's got to be in moderation.
Yes.
Right. Like you see guys in the UFC, they smoke cigarettes or they'll drink or whatever, but it's all about moderation in life, like everything. If you too much of anything is bad, you know, and there are guys that are able to live the life they want and they have a lifestyle, but they moderate that and it doesn't hinder their success, you know. So that's a big thing right there.
I will say though, there are some freaks out there. There are some freak athletes. There's the Carlos Paratas.
Yeah.
There's the John
That's what I thought
Jones
right there. The cigarettes and stuff. I was like, I don't know how he does that. But.
Yeah. The thing is though, is that like I always tell fighters is don't pretend or don't fool yourself into believing you're the exception, because you're probably not. If you sit down and think about how many fighters have lived this crazy wild party lifestyle or smoking cigarettes and doing stuff like that, it's less than 1%.
You're right. Yeah.
It's very, very small.
Man, you got to think there's someone across the world that's training every second of their life to beat you up in front of your family. And if you don't take that personally, you don't understand that, you're going to find out eventually if you keep fighting. You will.
100%. Yeah. Especially when you got guys, you know, Chris Mixon and Kinley St. Louis.
Yeah.
Both of those guys are killers and they met each other.
Yeah.
And Chris Mixon was the better man that night.
It was a great fight though.
It was.
It was like anyone could have took that fight.
Yeah.
And you know, it's at that level, it's small mistakes, you know, milliseconds of slipping a punch or getting that takedown or landing the punches when the ref's telling you to fight back and you're showing, like, it's these small amounts of seconds and time that you have to make these decisions.
Yeah.
And it's win or loss at this level now, you know.
And if you're, like you said, if you're spending your extra time out of the gym, you know, going out and partying or drinking and smoking, instead of sharpening your mind and, you know, doing things that are going to make you just a better person in general, but also a better fighter. So you have the mental, the capacity to see that punch and slip it and capitalize on the opportunity. I see it all the time in the fight game. I'm always sitting cage side and I see like, oh, why didn't he do that? Oh, why didn't he? It's like a constant every night I see it. And it's easy from the outside looking in. Yeah, it is. I'll never say the man in the arena. There's no comparing sitting outside and watching that man do it. But then whenever you see a guy who's able to capitalize on the mistakes, who's able to do, you know, like in your last fight, I think it was a failed shot. He took up maybe a sloppy shot.
Yeah, and the exact sequence at the end. So in camp, I really worked on this heavy wizard and this collar tie situation that I get into a lot with wrestlers. And when I stay strong there, if they go down, they eat knees. If they go up, I stay on that wizard and work my way to their back. So I stayed there, worked my way to the back, snatched like the side rear naked choke. And from there, I had all my leverage on him. So he kind of just like collapsed right there on the cage. And then you saw the finish. I let go of the choke and did what I had to do.
Yeah, no. And that's it. It's like, you know, at what point do you know to give up on the choke and go for the ground and pound finish?
The cage was in the way.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, to get to that, to the finish it, I had a really good squeeze on, but to finish it, I was going to have to slide a little bit more and get more of that back take behind him. I was more on the side. So I was like, he's pinned in the cage, position over submission, you know, and I've learned that from shout out to Dave Lowson at Dark Wolf and Christian. They were one of the first gyms I stepped into to like learn about myself back in the day. I don't train there much anymore. I see them here and there, but like, again, I learned from a coach at a different gym when he used to come to us. I went to him and now I'm using it still to this day. So that's just an example of like any gym you walk into, whether they're even a better fighter or not, you can still learn from them. You just got to have that ability to listen and not let your ego take over. Be like, oh, I'm better than you. I'm not even going to listen. You know,
yeah.
Like, it's a really bad trait that a lot of fighters have, but
yeah, that's funny. In martial arts, they always talk about like, you got to kill the ego, or like, you know, no ego on the mats. And it's like, bruh, anyone who's actually training in a gym, there is so much ego on the mats.
Especially when you're in a gym where there's hundreds of fighters and everyone's competing for the coach's attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I don't know, you have to be really smart with your training. You know, you can't let your ego make you go get rounds that you don't necessarily need at the moment, or maybe you're just not even healthy and you're going to go put yourself in that situation and then get banged up and now go in a fight either banged up or have to pull out of the fight. I've had many fights where I had to stop sparring 3 weeks before, 4 weeks before, and just technical spar or drill or just do things that'll keep me healthy, keep my mind right, keep my timing up, but also that I can't get hurt so I can go in that cage and be who I want to be.
Yeah. You know, I tell guys this all the time. you know, number one, if you've got 5 or 6 fights, you don't have to be sparring every day. It's just not necessary. It's silly, to be honest with you. Like you're basically going out and giving yourself damage and doing all these things that, I mean, at some point, you know, if you can take a punch, you know how you react to getting hit, and you don't need to keep getting hit over and over again in order to like keep learning that, because all that does is it hurts you in the long run. But you said something really interesting there about competing for the coach's attention and being smart about the rounds you're taking. You know, guys, it's like there's a fine line between listening to your coach and listening to your body. And I see a lot of guys, you know, I'll see him at sparring. I'm like, yo, you told me yesterday that your shoulder's bothering you and you think you have a separation. Like, what are you doing at the gym today? Oh, well, coach said, no.
You got one body, man.
Yeah.
You don't get a new body. Like, people understand this is not a game. You don't play MMA. You can play basketball. You can play baseball. You can play all these sports. But when you go in that cage, there's one thing certain. That guy over there is wanting to separate you from consciousness, snap your arm right in front of everybody you love on TV. Like that has to be so personal. And you have to take care of yourself to the uttermost. And if you don't do that, the odds are not in your favor. You know what I mean? They're not.
Yeah, no, I like that, man. It's cool to see a fighter as young as yourself that understands that already. I didn't get that until I was done with fighting. I took maybe another fight or two when I finally realized, like, oh, I don't have to go prove myself in the gym every day. Oh, I can tap to this. Maybe I can get out, but you know what? Like, here, let's move on to the next thing.
Exactly. I when I go in like to the infusion, like I get tapped all the time. I have no ego to sit here and say, oh, I don't get tapped. I get tapped all the time, but I want to know what I got tapped with. What angle was it at? What submission was it? What did I go for that got me caught there? I need to learn these things, or when I get in a fight, I'm just going to be on autopilot. It's not going to work like that.
Cool. Yeah. No, I mean, that's the way it is too. And like, to me, that's part of fight IQ as well. Like being able to listen to your body. If you so many times go against what your brain tells you to do, if you just keep not listening to it and not listening to it and not listening to it, how are you going to listen to your brain and to yourself when you're in a fight?
It's fight or flight in there. And you know, the guys that just go in there and fight because they train like that. You know, like, and some guys are, you know, they have gift and they can do that and they get away with it. But you get to this level in the UFC, I'm not there yet, but I'm very observant. I'm a student of the game. These guys are so tactical. They're so analytical. They're 1, 2, 3 moves ahead of you. Like, if you're not there, like IQ wise with them in these fights. And if you're not building your fight IQ, then you're just fighting and you're going off of like pure, like whatever God gave you. And you're not giving yourself the best chance. You're not building that IQ.
No, for sure. So. What made you, you know, there's a ton of great gyms here in Orlando area, and you're at a great gym as well. But what made you decide you wanted to start cross training, and why did you choose fusion?
So I started at a boxing gym with Pete White, John Radford, that whole legacy, and many other fighters that they had are actually now at fusion, which is funny. But I was very, very happy with my boxing and how fast it's been growing with them. I said, you know, when I got in the MMA cage and I started fighting, I was like, okay, I need to just actually go learn how to grapple and learn how to wrestle instead of just drill takedown defense. And when I spar, people just say, oh, don't let them take me down. And it was about building that IQ. It was about that confidence that I needed. So if I do go to the ground, I know how to survive. I know how to get to my feet. I know how to get, you know, reverse a situation, sweep, whatever somebody gives you, you have to have the knowledge to say, okay, it's there, take it. And if you don't go to a gym like Fusion or even any of these high level grappling gyms, and you don't learn this stuff, you're going to get exposed. And I don't know. I do things to try to be the best at them. I've never been somebody to just be a part of it. Like, I've always had that sheer will, and that I've always dreamt of greatness for myself. And whatever it may be, it was business in the past, you know, now it's fighting, but it's just about like how much you care. You know, if you don't care about your grappling, then, you know, if you go into a fight and you get submitted, then how are you going to be mad at yourself? You can't. Or how are you going to be happy and okay with that? Because you never put yourself in the situation to learn.
Well, most people just make excuses. Like, most people, it's like, oh, he just wanted to dive at my dick. Oh,
I don't like grappling. I don't even want to sit here and say this, but I don't like grabbing other sweaty dudes. That's not my favorite thing to do. but I go and have to learn. This is the game that we play. When we fight, people want to wrestle, they want to grapple. And I'm sitting there, I just want to hit people, but you know, I have to learn how to get them off me to keep hitting them. That's just the way it works.
Yeah, a lot of people are really upset with the Kamzat versus DDP fight and how he just, but in my head, it's like, yo, he just annihilated somebody with one skill.
Wrangled him completely.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
How can he be mad about that? And in my head, it's like, yo,
high level.
He beat the best guy in the world.
Yeah.
With one martial art.
Yeah.
With wrestling. Well, maybe some jiu-jitsu.
And DDP ran through Whitaker, ran through Adesanya, you know, put Strickland in his place. Like he beat all the best guys in the division, you know, the recent best guys in the division. So he proved that he is the champ.
Yeah. And
then have Hamzat run here and just wrangle him that like for 5 rounds. It was like, yo, there's levels to this, guys. You can't just, you could be the champ of the world and still not be the best guy in the world. It's the craziest thing. The belt, these belts don't mean shit. They're accolades. Okay. At the end of the day, it's who are you when you get in that cage? What is your skill level? And where's your mind at? You know, you got to have the physical, the mental, and the spirit. And if it's not all there,
and even if it's not all there just for that one night,
it
could all be there. But just that night, something goes wrong. You eat the wrong thing. Your weight cut was bad. Your girl broke up with you. Like fighters have to do, you know, and like you said earlier about playing these other sports with baseball and football, they have 10, 12 other people on the field to make up for them if they're having a bad night. We don't get that.
Nope.
It's all on you. And, you know, speaking of DDP, I just want to bring this up, but I noticed his coach after the fact has said so much dumb stuff online about Kamzat and like, oh, he's, you know, we deserve a rematch and all these other things. And it's like, yo, where's the accountability? Like, your athlete couldn't just stop a takedown. And instead of taking that accountability and going like, oh, we have to get better, we have to improve in this area. He exploited our whole, you know, whatever the case might be. It's like, yo, you're making excuses for your athlete. Like, if the athlete wants to make excuses, whatever. But the coach, and this happens a lot at Combat Night too, the coach should not be making excuses.
And honestly, if they really thought they could win that fight, they would have took accountability for everything, and then they would have went back to the drawing board and then regame planned and trained differently for it. But the fact, if you come off of a loss and you're making excuses, your head's in the wrong place to come back and get it back.
Exactly.
That's just how, you know, anything is in life. If you quit on yourself and you make excuses, you're not going to grow. You're not going to be able to come back and overcome. It's just not the way it works.
Yeah. You said something earlier about in business. So what were you doing before fighting? Like, what were you, because you're in pretty good shape, and since I've known you, you've been a very fit guy. You've been in shape. Were you doing anything before fighting? Any kind of athletics?
So in high school, I was a cross country runner, but a baseball player. I played baseball my whole upbringing. I wanted to be Derek Jeter when I was younger. So that was the dream, but obviously, you know, here I am. But yeah, no, I've always been in sports. I've always been competitive. I had a really, really late growth spurt. I hit puberty very late compared to all these high school athletes. So I was never that stud varsity guy that you're starting like from freshman year. I was always like, I don't know. I rode the bench, but I also played a little. I was just like diced in here and there. I was never like, that's the guy. And then that always left a chip on my shoulder, because a lot of these guys I see playing over me, like, I work harder than them in practice and I want it more than these guys. You know, they're making jokes about losing and I'm over here like beating myself up over it. Like it really hurt me so bad that when I did find MMA, it clicked. I was like, there ain't no one else to like baseball. There's not 8 other guys on the field. There's no coach pulling me in and out. This is all on me. So like now this is my ultimate opportunity to show the world who I think I am and keep expressing myself as I keep fighting and keep growing in this sport. And, you know, shout out to all the people that doubted me and overlooked me. You're an influence to who I am now. And I think it's just the beginning for me.
No, that's dope, man. Yeah. It's so easy to have a victim mentality, especially in your generation, you know, but your generation, especially, it's really easy to have that victim mentality and poor me. You know, I work harder, I deserve to play, and being upset about it instead of just working harder. So it's cool. Again, like I said, you know, there's a very small batch of guys that I see right now that are younger that have this amazing mindset, and they're looking at not just MMA, but really life differently than the rest of the guys out there.
And I would tell everybody, like on your social media, control your algorithm. Like, stop looking at shit that doesn't matter. Your focus is everything you need. When you're in a fight, Focus is like the most utmost important, significant skill that you need. You need to be able to stay focused when you get hit, when you get tired, when the clacker goes, when the ref breaks you up. If you check out for a second, it doesn't matter. You can get caught with something, or now you're in a bad situation and you're losing a round. Your focus is everything. So if you're sitting here scrolling on social media for 30, 40, an hour, and you don't even know what you just scrolled on, you couldn't tell anyone after, you're destroying your ability to focus. You're kind of like, you're doing something carelessly without intention. So not even just social media, the people you listen to, the TV you watch, the people you surround yourself with, the things you go out and do in public, all these things matter. Like focus is almost like a lifestyle. Being precise is a lifestyle. Like this, I don't know. I think I have a very different perspective on everything, but I think it makes me unique. And focus is just something that people don't really pay attention to, but it's so vital, like especially in fights and in life too, business, everything. You got to watch all your employees, or if someone's, screwing off in the background and something goes wrong at your event, and then you're wondering why, and it happened behind your back. You might have lost focus on, or someone wasn't watching them do it, whatever it might have been. And it's not just fighting, it's everything. Like focus is a very key trait that society is destroying now, because social media, instant gratification, all this, I say, like garbage that we're being fed. We've come from so far. We used to be hunter gatherers, and now we're in AC every day and complaining that it's hot out. Like, you see how far we've come from our roots. So it's today, like, you can destroy yourself by letting society like suck you into all the bullshit. So.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's so funny. Sometimes someone will tell me something about like pop culture, and they're like, "Oh, did you hear what Kylie Jenner did?" No. I can't tell you. Honestly, I couldn't tell you what she looked like.
I don't know how she famous. What did she like? Who is Kylie Jenner?
But people are spending a lot of their time being concerned about other people's achievements, or just their limelight, and supporting that limelight instead of supporting their own dreams and chasing their own dreams.
Facts.
So it's really dope to see someone in like, your age group that is locked in on their own dreams.
Yeah.
And would rather spend an hour of their time to get better than an hour of their time to watch someone else get better.
7 a.m. I'm in a sauna. I'm doing my breathing exercises. 10 a.m. I'm doing my calisthenics. 12 o'clock I'm going to the beach. I'm working my footwork. I'm swimming. Like, and then at night I'm in a gym, boxing, or like I'm doing 4 sessions a day, and I'm not overworking myself to where they're grueling sessions all the time, because you have your, active workouts, you got your recovery workouts. Like, there's so many different ways to keep yourself moving. But when you really like want something, you have to go all in. And again, like I kind of spoke about earlier, there's someone across the world training to fucking beat my face in. If I'm not all in on this, what am I doing?
Yes.
What am I doing?
We're simulating death here. Like, that is what we're simulating.
Yes.
Like, there's not no third
It's him
man.
or me every time.
Yes.
It's him or me.
Yes, very much. What would you say, something you've touched base on a lot here, although we haven't said the word necessarily, is sacrifice. What would you say your biggest sacrifice is that you've had to make with the fight game? It's kind of new to you in the last 5 years. What's the biggest sacrifice that you would say you've made for the fight game?
I gave up. I used to be in a big family business with my family. We had a big family like recycling facility. We manage Volusia County, St. John's, and Flagler, and they ultimately wanted to pass it down to me. I was making 6 figures. I had a really good paycheck. I was managing 65 employees. I went to school for auto and diesel technology, so I'd overlook the diesel shop and all the machines and all the employees. And I walked away from that because it wasn't my dream. And it was really hard because my dad took his dad's company from him. So this one, he wanted to pass it down to me, like family businesses usually go. So I had to walk away from that. And, it's because money doesn't make you happy in life. It's what sets your heart on fire, right? And for me, it's competition, it's self-growth, it's learning about myself. And also, I like taking care of myself. And a lot of businesses nowadays, it's a very toxic lifestyle. You have to give yourself up almost for a company to always be there, whether the environment's good or not, just always be there, and always stressed out about this employee, that employee, this employee. You're not focused on yourself ever, and watching my parents go through this big, building this big company up, I see what it did to their health, like firsthand. So I didn't want that to be me. You know, I wanted to be more present for my kids. I wanted to chase my dreams. And this was the big conversation I had with my family, is like, I love you guys, but I want you to sell it and reap all the benefits of this. And I want to go do what I love. And that's what happened. I left like a year before they sold it. And they sold it to the 8th biggest company in the world, Waste Management. So a huge success, like crazy accolade from my family, but it was hard to walk away from that because I helped them build it from 14 years old to 24 years old. I was with them building that up.
Yeah.
So that was probably the biggest sacrifice for sure.
No, that's a big one, man. But, you know, now that you have all that knowledge, whenever you're done with fighting, whenever that may be, you can apply all that to yourself. You know, I took a lot from what you just said. I feel like I was right in your shoes without the big fancy family business. My dad was a farmer.
Yeah.
And I worked a lot with him, and he was always gone. Literally half the time he was out doing stuff, working, providing for the family to make money. And whenever I started Combat Night, I didn't have a family. I was single.
Yeah.
I had Brandy, you know, who's my fiance now, but I was like, I knew I wanted it to be something that my family could be involved in, that everyone's family could be involved in. And so I started from the ground up building that, you know, because I knew that I want my son one day to take this over.
And it's really cool to see you incorporate your family in the business. Like, I love seeing around. They're all having a good time at every event. They're part of like the social media posts. Like, they genuinely love what you've created. And it's inspiring to keep coming and fighting for y'all, because like, I grew up in family business. I've been through the lowest of lows through a family business. I've been through the highest highs. And I know that when I go to Combat Night, it's a family business, but you got to orchestrate it correctly. It's an event. Like, it's a hard job. You have to be on your P's and Q's, paying attention, focusing on everything. So I admire that about you and the whole team. Like, you guys really put it together.
Yeah. Cause it's not just my family. It's everybody's family's involved right now.
Family. It's
right now it's Ramsey and Raina, you know,
literally.
Father and daughter back there, handling the production of this podcast.
Yeah, you guys do an excellent job for sure.
Yeah, no, that's the one thing. You know, I knew I did not want to sacrifice my family for business, and I didn't want to sacrifice my relationship for business, because you see it so often. People go through divorces and stuff because they're gone all the time. So, you know, it was very hard to get to this point where we are now, but I'm very thankful that we found a way and that we managed to include the family.
Yeah, and then a shout out to my mom, because she's such a patient, strong, loving woman that stayed by my dad's side since the beginning. At their anniversary was like 2 days ago, 35 years. So she stuck with him through it all when he built it, from just him and her in one truck to, you know, 70 employees, 100 pieces of equipment. It was a huge company they sold, but like, she stayed with him even though he was gone every day, all day, and he still is. They have another company now. My dad is just one of those hardcore businessmen, and you've seen him at events. You can see how intense he is.
Oh yeah,
that's
your
how
mom too.
That's how he's about business, right? And he's given me that work ethic. Like, I'm a horse. Like, I've been in the pits, man. Like, I've been inside rock crushers, pulling concrete slabs out because the whole machine got jammed. I was in there for days picking this out with my hands. Like, I've been in the slums.
Yeah.
And it made me who I am now, because I'm so grateful for life and the situation I am. I've come so far. So I'm very present now, and God is great. Like, you know, that's my biggest thing. Like, you know, shout out to God, shout out to Jesus. Like, I give you guys all the glory, and victory or defeat, every opportunity, every lesson, every blessing. It's my relationship with God is so strong now because of everything I've gone through and now who I am. And, I can't be any more, you know, happy about my situation at the moment. But I'm very hungry still.
No, I can tell you, I know you're hungry. You know, you talk about your support system, talking about your mom and your dad. Yo, I love your mom at the events, just like you are with Chris Mixon. Your mom is standing up as soon as your name is called, to the time it's called again. She loves her Johnny boy. Like, you know, I've never had a conversation with her where you are like the apple of her eye. You are literally the sunshine in her sky. Your mom.
I do everything. I'll do anything for that woman. Anything.
She absolutely adores you, man.
You know, anyone mess with that woman, man, you trust me, man. It's not gonna be okay.
Yeah, I love it. Like I said, I love seeing that, because that's another thing that I notice a lot of fighters who end up being successful have, is a good support system. Because this game is so hard, and you know, you go through things like the broken bones, and the torn joints and all that kind of stuff. So to have someone there to help keep you grounded, whether it be a wife, whether it be a family or your mom, your dad, everyone has their different support system, but I think it's really important if you want to make it in this world. It can't be just, fuck everybody.
Yeah, and if you don't have that first family, you can build a support system. You go to the gym, you meet the right people, you meet sponsors, you meet people, like-minded people that want good for you and keep you grounded, right? You can't be too high, you can't be too low. You got to be in the medium at all times, and you can latch on to people, but at the same time, it has to be the right people. If this guy takes you out one night and you have a great time, but then he's always asking you to go out, maybe he's not the best person for your fighting career, right? But if you go to the gym and you meet a great training partner, then maybe you should, go to lunch with him, talk to him, go to the beach with them, like whatever it may be, like meet like-minded people with the same goals, keep them around you, and good things happen. Like Aaron Franz, I just met him when I was supposed to fight for that 70 title. He was in camp for Ben, and I was about to fight that week, and we didn't get to like spar a lot, but we drilled a lot and we talked a lot and we hit it off immediately. So right after my fight fell through, I was able to help him really get prepared for Ben. And, Aaron, Chris Mixon, these guys at Fusion, like Brian Santiago, Mikey Conlin, Bubba Scheffel, Lucas Alexander, Terrence, all these guys, man, they're down to earth. And if they know you're in there to train with in good intention, they're going to help you.
Yeah. And what I love about all the guys you just mentioned is that they're in the gym 24/7, just like yourself.
Yeah.
It's not a hobby. It's not something I'm doing in my free time. It is a lifestyle. And if you're going to make it and you're going to make it to the highest levels of sport, it used to be you could get by with just being talented. You could have knockout power back in the early 2000s and you could make it.
Those guys would get cooked today.
Oh, by some amateurs.
Yeah.
No lie. Like I truly believe there are some amateurs right now that would kill some of the
people that were ranked in the world.
Yes. No doubt in my mind 100%. About it.
Yeah.
Because times change, things you find better ways to train, better ways to recover,
technology,
techniques, everything.
Therapy,
changes.
Everything changed.
What would you say? You were talking about the highest highs, the lowest lows, and keeping yourself right there in the middle. So far in the sport, what's your greatest achievement? What's your greatest moment where you almost had to pinch yourself? I can't believe this is happening right now.
My greatest achievement was in mixed martial arts.
Yep.
I would say it's actually kind of crazy, but getting to the cage when I had my first split decision loss, I learned so much about myself because I'm not the one to ever harp on and make excuses, but when I went into that cage, I was medicated. I was broken. My limbs were taped up so I could walk and like get in there. And I went all 9 minutes and almost won that fight, which was crazy. I learned so much about myself. I can go into somewhere 10% and my mind won't quit on me. I'll still go there. I'll show up and I'll try my hardest. And that's what I learned in that fight where with Eris, that like nobody or nothing can stop me but me. And obviously I learned to, now go into fights healthy, right? But I learned more about myself that night just because I let my ego get the best of me to go in there. But I learned a lot of lessons. So it was like a trade-off there, right? So I would say that just getting into that cage in the situation I was in, I had a couple broken bones in my foot. I had a really bad sinus infection. And I took a bunch of like Sudafeds, didn't know they would make me nervous. And I had crazy nerves out of nowhere that night. Like it was just like a roller coaster. Right.
Yeah.
And those are the situations you learn more about yourself in the grueling and the suck, in the things that don't go your way. Right. Like I can sit here and say, yeah, when I won my champ, like that was amazing. That was my best accolade. But learning most about myself, I would say that one.
Okay.
And so it's a little bit unique. I look at things and like lessons are blessings. Right. And that was a huge lesson.
Yeah. Something
that I can take with me. I learned that I can go 3 rounds that night, and it was something that was really hard that I got through. And then it made me way more confident for my next fights. Like I can go, especially 100%, I can go 3 rounds and not even have any issues,
Yeah.
So
well, that's interesting too, man. Talking about, I have seen multiple of you, and
Yeah.
you don't really talk about them on social media or to anybody else.
Mhm.
But I've seen the injuries happen. I've seen you like roll your ankle right before one of your fights. I saw you right before this last fight. You got split.
Yeah.
You got cut.
Yeah.
And I think it was like right at 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was, and it's so funny because you'll come and tell me, or I'll see you at the gym and I see you walk up and you're bleeding.
Yeah.
And you're like, don't worry, I'll be there on August 9th.
Yeah.
Or, don't worry, I'm still fighting.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, you don't know how many times I see people get hurt or injure themselves.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, I can't.
Oh,
And
no.
it's like, yo, number one, I'm not advocating for anyone to go do anything they don't
When they're
want to
hurt,
do.
yeah, no.
Like if you feel like in your soul that you just can't do it, I'm not saying you should, but it says something about the man who refuses to let a cut or an ankle or whatever keep them from fighting.
Yeah. No, that's not me. I'm always trying to find a way in. And when you take every opportunity that comes to yourself, you're always trying to find that opportunity to get in. But the people that don't have that mentality, the people with victims mentality, they're looking for that out.
Yeah.
And that's the big difference between me and people with that mentality. Is like, you're going to have to actually like Stone Cold, what happened to Steph? She couldn't go. Her knee gave out on her. Like if I couldn't walk to the cage, it's the only way you're not going to get me in that cage.
Yeah.
Right. But if I can tape that ankle up enough to get in that cage, I might not have a low kick, but I can still box.
Yeah.
And
Steph was trying to take her knee and get in the cage.
Shout out Stone Cold.
Yeah, it's a different kind of mindset. And again, I know I keep saying it, but I love seeing it in this younger generation. You go to your local Walmart or Target or something, you're gonna think that we're lost. The next couple generations are lost. But I see it so often in the guys like you, the Brian Santiago's, the Tims. I see we're not lost. Like we got a lot of good, hungry. The next generation, I'm actually pretty excited for it.
I am too. Yeah, for sure. And there's a lot of talent over here in Central Florida. So I love working with all of them, and I can't wait to see everybody go through their own journey and trying to get to that next level.
Who's who would you? I'm gonna put you on the spot here. You can't say Chris Mixon. Okay. Who is your favorite current training partner? Like who do you love, and why do you love him?
Brian Santiago, because we keep it honest with each other. We both have been in championship fights, so we know what that pace looks like. We have an idea, and we both aspire to be the best versions of ourselves. So, whether, I think he got the best of me one round or I got the best of him, it don't even matter, because we learned so much off each other, and we don't have to sit here and chop it up for hours after. Like we can look at each other and know that was honest work. So every time I go in there, whether I drill or spar with him, it doesn't even matter. I like how methodical, how tactical he is. He's very humble. He's a really good dude. I really love Brian. He's a good guy. Yeah, no, I love Brian too. He recently came on board working with us as well. Yeah. So I've got to know Brian a lot better over the last couple of events. He's been, tagging along with Angel and helping with cage setup and stuff. Yeah. And for me, he had a sick knockout too. Shout out to Brian. Yeah, he just made his pro debut. Had a really nice knockout. I don't know how I'm going to top it, Brian, but I'll find a way. first round KO. Yeah, it's something crazy in the first round for sure. And I think he's trying to fight again on October 11th. He's trying to get back in there. Oh, yeah. He was in great shape. So if he's healthy, why not? Right. Exactly. If you're healthy, why not? Not getting any younger, and you got guys like Raul Rojas who already have 4 or 5 fights in the UFC, and he's 22, 23. Exactly. Yeah. No, I love it. Who's someone that, you got a lot of good training partners? Is there anybody you look up to in the gym? Like you mentioned, a lot of UFC guys. Is there anybody that's, kind of mentoring you right now, or that you feel like is providing a help you find a way? Chris. You can say Chris. Yeah, I'm going to say Chris Mixon. Again, very humble, down-to-earth guy. Got me started. And he moved out to Colorado. And I'll tell you what, he hates Colorado. He fucking hates it. He hates the cold weather. He hates the rain there. He can just find something to hate about Colorado, but he's training with Carrington Banks. He's training with Corey Sandhagen's coach. He's in the room with Usman and Gaethje and all these very high level wrestlers, which is, if you think about his style, he's a boxer. So what is someone wanting to do when they get in the cage? They're going to want to wrestle him or grappling. Even if they do want to box him, that's fine. He still works it up there, but he's putting himself in the very uncomfortable situation to go work with these high level guys. So he is going to be ready when a Kenley St. Louis comes along and tries to grab him and throw him on the ground. He's he wants to be the best in the world, and he has that skill to put any man down at 170. So I really look forward to watching his journey. And the more he wins, I feed off of it.
Yeah.
So on top of already who I am, every time I see him win, I'm like, God, I gotta get back in that cage, bro. Got to get Chris down here. We gotta go. We gotta keep going. We gotta, you know what I mean? So
no, that's dope, man.
Yeah.
It's good. I always say that it's important for not just young men, but especially young athletes, to have somebody that they're looking up to, a mentor, someone that's on the same level, which is it's Brian Santiago. And then also I think it's good to mentor somebody. I think it's to have somebody under you and help kind of show them the way and guide them. Yeah. You know, I see so many young guys get in the sport, and they'll be at a great gym. You know, they'll be at Fusion sometimes, and they'll miss weight. And I'm like, what? How on God's green earth did you miss weight? When you're surrounded by the Terrence McKinneys, the Phil Rose, the John Morea,
everybody.
How? So it's like, I always think it's really important too, to have somebody that you're maybe mentoring or helping along the way. Is there anybody that you have your eyes on that you think is going to be really good and that you're trying to help, you know, guide through the ranks?
I see Aaron France. He's got a lot of talent. So we'll see when he comes back over here. Hopefully he gets in the cage, or I get in the cage for my pro debut. We're looking at November 8th, right?
Yeah.
Possibly. Who else? You know, it's hard for me to like pick one person out of Fusion because I'm only over there 2-3 times a week, and I'm not on the mats all the time. There's so many guys over there.
Yeah,
like, it's a jungle. But talent wise over there, I think very underrated is Julio Cesar Chavez. He's next level. And I just watched his fight with the Daggy that he fought, and it was so frustrating because the Daggy, obviously he was really good at what he did, but Julio, like, you can tell that whole fight he still had the capability to put him out. He still was there the whole fight. He defended till the end, and it's funny because he doesn't speak a lot of English, so we don't really get to talk me and him a lot. But I always show him the utmost respect, and I try to train with him when I can. But yeah, I see him coming up, and who else over there? I'm trying not to name a 155er. Can I name like a Joe Gonzalez, right? That's another one. Trying to get him in there. He's
a hard guy to get fights, man.
Yeah.
Such a good, talented, young, lot of fights too, a lot of experience. And people don't want to fight a guy.
Yeah, I want to see Bartolo win his amateur championship too. We got to get that one going, Aldo.
Yeah, we're working on it, man. I think Aldo just took a fight on another date, roughly around the same date. But if something falls through, I think we're going to try to make the Bartolo fight happen.
Yeah.
Because he is a striker and he wants to fight. You know, everyone he's fought for us so far is a wrestler style, at least, or they're trying to wrestle him, even if they're not wrestling. So I think Bartolo is that. Him and Aldo to me is like the striking versus the grappler. I'm really excited to see that.
Exactly. Yeah.
It'll happen eventually.
And if not, find him someone else.
Yeah, no, we'll find
Bartolo needs to get back in there though.
Yeah, we'll get Bartolo someone else for sure in October or November.
Shout out to him. He helped me a lot for this last fight. We drilled for hours in the back, almost killed him in the back by accident. But anyways, he helped me a lot for this fight, for takedown defense and just drilling, and even a little bit of lives goes here and there. So he really built my confidence with being able to fend off a strong wrestler that was going to be very stubborn to get me down. Yeah. And I was so confident in there, even when the dude did get a good, like even in the first shot, he had my left foot off the ground, and I was able to stay balanced. But right when we got on the cage, I looked at Julian. I'm like, what are we doing? So like, again, I was very confident and calm to like, okay, I'm ready to get this guy off me. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Yeah. So, how was that having Julian in corner? I came up with Julian. So we fought on cards together. Yep. Me and him actually weren't really that cool. Not like we respected each other, but we didn't talk. We didn't hang out. I didn't start going to Fusion until I was pretty much done with my fight career. And it was the vibe that I liked over there. I really liked the energy at that gym specifically. But how was it having Julian in your corner?
Just, Julian's built so many great fighters. So it's not even a matter of if I respect him. Of course I do. Like, Julian he's very high level, and I use him specifically for wrestling and grappling. I think he's extraordinary with his MMA approach to bringing like realistic jiu-jitsu and realistic wrestling and putting it together in an MMA style, training, drilling, stuff like that. But having Julian in my corner, I wasn't really sure how he was going to do, but I told him, I say, hey, be vocal in there. I listen very well. And I did hear him in there. I did really well with that. But he just having someone like that in your corner, it's confident. You're going to war, like, and having someone behind you that has been to war more than probably anybody in that room, right? Whether he was in the cage or not. Like that's a next level of knowing your support system is strong and you're ready for this. You have the right people behind you.
Yeah, man. And you listen so well whenever you're fighting. Yeah. I've acknowledged, I've seen this firsthand during the fights and then afterwards watching the tape after on how well you listen to your coaches. And that's just a testament to, one, knowing in your heart and in your mind that you're at the right place because you trust them. Yeah. You know, in your fight against Bashmir, there's a bunch of moments like I think we did a whole video where you can hear the coaches saying it and you're like, it's like a video game.
We predicted the whole fight A to Z. We knew what he was going to do. We know how he was going to fall out of position to get hit with the right hand. And then after hitting with the right hand, he ended up shooting. He wanted to make it a wrestling fest. And then when we got back to the feet in the second round, it was, okay, we hit him with a big right hand. Let's feint that now. And he settled down and kind of shelled. So I feinted the right hand and then we blasted the left hook. He settled in on the feint that I started throwing because I just hit him the round before and hurt him with it. So, you know, that was Chris Mixon IQ, striking IQ there. But even on the cage, you just underhooks, turn him. That knee's there, you know, punch through the glove, like everything. I was right on it. I was listening, and I don't know, man. It's when fights are easy, it's easier to listen. Yeah, like not to be all cocky and stuff. But my last two fights have been pretty easy. And
experienced guys, though, you're not fighting bums.
No, I've never fought anybody with less fights than me. Everybody I've fought has more fights than me. So it's good to get people that have experience, but it's almost like unfulfilling because when you get an amateur fight of the year and then you have two easy fights after, it's like, okay, I tasted a real war and now I'm not getting touched here. It's like, when is the next one? When is the next one where I'm going to taste my blood a little bit, have to really dig deep and figure someone out? And that I loved every second of that Dan O'Neill fight. Like, every second of it. It sounds crazy to say, but when I'm sitting on the stool between rounds 1 and 2, I'm looking over and my corner doesn't even think I'm there because I got dropped in the round. I'm looking over him like, guys, he's tired. He threw the sink. He's tired. He's done. Like, so I'm very locked in and focused, you know, and I crave competition and difficulty, but at the same time, like we're playing each other's help. So you got to be happy when you get someone in and out of there and you don't get touched, right?
Yeah, for sure. So now it's a chess match, man. You know, speaking of like something I just wanted to bring up, I mentioned this before the podcast. We were talking briefly, but you know, I've watched Julian's growth as a coach. Mm-hmm. So if you go back and look at his history you know, I tell guys all the time, like you can have success in the gym. Mm-hmm. Now you got to find out how to have success in an amateur fight. Yeah. Okay, cool. You've had success in an amateur fight. Now it's time to go pro. Now you got to find out how to have success in the regional scene pro level. Yeah. Okay, cool. You've done that. Now it's time to go to the UFC. Now you got to find out how to have success in the UFC. Yeah. Yeah. And it's no different for a coach. And if you look at Julian's UFC record when he first started, trash. Yeah. I will. He knows it. He'll say it with you. Yeah. The team's currently on a 5-5 win streak.
Yeah.
In the UFC.
Fusion XL. Yeah, that's crazy work, man. And all the guys and girls that are winning, you can see why. They're like Charles Johnson. He's probably the hardest worker that I've ever seen. Not even just front hand, his social media. The dude's he's always working. It doesn't matter what you're doing. He's probably out somewhere working, running, drilling. Yeah. Doing something that has to do with his fighting career. And to see him have his comeback win, it gave me goosebumps because I was like, you actually have to kill that guy. You're not gonna destroy his mental. Nope. He's gonna come all 5 rounds if it comes down to that. And he's gonna try to hurt you for 5 rounds.
It was really dope to see. Charles got worked in the first round. Yeah, it was bad.
Touched on the feet.
The game plan that he went in the first round with, and I think he was logging. You know, he was like computing what was happening, and he was like, you know, taking notes during the fight. Mm-hmm. But then to see the game plan change completely going into the second round, I don't know what Julian said. I don't know what Charles realized, but you can hear his corner.
It was too clean.
It was
the first round. It was too clean for the other guy. Yep. And that dude, he's very skillful. Upcoming prospect, very good striking, good footwork, very athletic, fast, strong. So it's like those guys, you got to make it ugly, right? Yeah. And that comes with, you know, the breaks off clinches. That comes with just pressing them, and sometimes having to bite down a little bit and just exchange, like making fights dirty. You know, that's kind of what it came down to, and he found it.
Yeah, and the knockout punch. leading up to the knockout punch, you can hear Charles's corners. I don't know if it was Julian or the other guy, but they're screaming the whole time, "Stay on him, stay on him, keep pressing him, keep pressing him."
They saw it,
and you watched his opponent, who was undefeated, top prospect. Charles traveled to China, all the stuff to get over there. But you watched the guy slowly breaking. He was like slowly breaking, and I was like, all right. And then there was a moment, there was an exchange, and I think the guy thought the exchange was over. Like he thought, okay, I can back out and I'm good here. And Charles,
that leaping hook,
bruh, just connected with a long, and you saw his chin.
He
like
almost turned his head around completely.
If there was, it was very, it was a nasty, brutal knockout.
Yeah, but and then the follow up,
vicious, made sure
accurate, precision.
Every punch landed. It was nasty. But it's cool to see, like, all right, like not only are the fighters figuring it out at the next level, but Julian's figuring out how to coach at the next level. And he's got all these guys, and half of them are transplants. Half of them, came to him because they saw something in him, something in the gym,
for sure,
and are there now. Just like yourself, you're over there now because you see he can help a part of your game.
Yes, for sure.
So it's cool to see. It's cool to see the success of guys like Charles. I love it because I can relate to Charles a lot in the way he handles himself. He literally trains, busts his ass. He gets off the mat, picks up his baby girl. If my son's there, he'll joke around with my son. Like he's a family man. His girl's always in the gym with him.
It's inspiration.
Got another kid on the way. It's inspirational.
Every time he posts something too, like you don't just post like pictures, he'll post like quotes. And like when you really study your mind and your mentality, you like when you read quotes, it's not just a quote. Like you dive deep into it and think about your life and how it resembles it, how it it relates to your situation might be going on in life, and that keeps you so focused and fired up for what's in front of you. Because a lot of these guys, you see them, they have that success and then they fall off.
A lot of guys,
the money, they start eating, they gain weight. It becomes easier in life. Like after you get that initial pop and that fame or that belt or that check, it's like it's a lot easier now to go kick back on the yacht or at the beach or wherever and eat the fried food and binge the ice cream or the candy. Like it's easier once you're a winner,
for sure.
But when you stay medium, like I said earlier, you don't get too high, you don't get too low. When you stay medium, I feel like you can stay on that path, and there's a lot of athletes out there that, they stay medium and they keep growing, or they stay at their game for a while, like Demetrius Johnson. He was always a medium guy. And he stayed at the highest level his whole career.
Kamaru Usman.
And he called it when he wanted to on the top, Kamaru Usman, another great example, so that's a big thing there.
People don't realize, man, like the Combat fight that we just talked about gave me 10 times more respect for Kamaru Usman.
100%.
Look, this guy on short notice,
just
stepped up and went 5 rounds with this guy.
Ultimately, it looked like he could have won that too.
And he was as it was ending. If he had more time, he just ran out of time. So it's dope to see that. You were saying something earlier about like, you kind of came from money, your family, business, all that kind of stuff. I love seeing athletes. There's 2 of them right now that come off the top of my head. It's you and it's Cody Cook, because like you were saying, some of these guys have never felt what it's like to have money. And when they get money, they fall off because they're eating more, enjoying the ice cream more. Now they're like, I can enjoy life now. Well, when I see guys like you and Cody Cook, who come from families with money, families that have family business, that aren't struggling when it comes to money. They're all right when it comes to money. Okay. I'm like, man, what is driving these guys? Because for me, I was broke. I grew up in a trailer park, double wide, floor falling out, you name it. Like my mom and my dad gave me everything I could ever wanted that they could. They did a lot for me. But I'll admit, like, I have no desire now. Like I don't know. It's like, no, I'm good. And I don't want my son to fight. Like I want my son to not be a fighter. I don't want him to feel struggle either. I want him to, because he's going to have to.
Well, you put him on the mats, so he's learning. He's getting discipline.
He's going to have to get some of that.
He's feeling a little bit of that real situation, right? Which is good. That's how you're supposed to mold your kids. Teach them the value of $1. Teach them what hard is. Tell them how to get through things that they don't necessarily want to do. Like, it's really important, when you're trying to raise somebody.
But when I see guys like you and Cody, I know it's possible to not raise a soft kid
Yeah.
right now, because you guys, again, you had everything,
Yeah.
but I watch you guys coming into the MMA
Mhm.
and wanting to really make it and wanting to really go all in at it. And you're not half-assing it. You're giving it everything you got. You're making those sacrifices. So, you know, I'm really excited for the guys like you and Cody, because it's like, yo, whenever y'all get there and y'all have that success, it's not going to phase you. Like you watched your dad have success, and you watched them have to continue to work to keep that success.
And my dad, they sold their company and he has a bigger one now. Like he could have just sat back on the 40-foot Midnight Express and fished the rest of his life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's in a sand mine in a excavator digging sand, throwing it in dump trucks every day. You know, my dad he's a hustler. He's a workhorse. Work is purpose. Work is life. Without work, what are you doing? You're sitting around and getting fat and you're dying. Like that's not what we want to do. Right. Yeah. And
chat says, dad whooped that ass.
Yeah, dad whooped my ass verbally really bad for a long time.
Yeah.
Especially being my boss too.
Yeah. Dad did verbal and physical to me. I'm okay. I made it.
Yeah, no, I definitely had to run away from the belt a couple times and lock my door. And then, you know,
I know Mama Dukes is coming to save you. She loves her Johnny boy.
Oh, yeah.
I know that. Like I said, I love your mom and all the support she gives you.
Yeah.
Do you have any hobbies outside of fighting, or is it just fighting for you? Do you have anything you enjoy?
Yeah, I shoot. I have a couple guns I shoot. I have a jet ski, so I like taking that out. What else do I like to do? I love the beach. I love going to the beach. And what else? I mean, I do a little bit. I mean, a jack of all, master of none. So like, I'm open to doing anything, honestly. Like I like exploring and figuring myself out more. So like when someone asks me to go do something, I'm like, sure. If it's not like something that's not, you know, healthy or something, no. But like if it's something like an outdoor activity, you want to go wakeboarding or whatever, I'll go try that. Sure. Like, but you know, hobbies is gonna be like I said, like jet ski or shooting guns or what else? What else we got? I don't know. I keep it simple, man. I'm always training.
Yeah.
So like that's enough, you know, in between.
For sure.
I mean, I have a dog. Take her to the dog park.
Do you have any guilty pleasures? I know you said everything's in moderation.
Yeah.
But what would you say is like if you're just fresh off of a fight camp? You know, what's your guilty pleasure that you're going to go enjoy the next week that you wouldn't normally do in a fight camp?
I don't know. I used to be a fat boy, so I can binge out on some food.
What's your go-to? What's your favorite dinner and your favorite dessert? Give me one of each.
So like after a fight, my favorite dinner would be like get like a pizza, grandma's pizza, like homemade though, like from a place near me. Like wine sauce, like very traditional family business.
What's the place?
It's called La Pizza Nostra.
Okay.
And it's in Palm Coast, Florida, right near my place. And then I'm a sucker for like a cookies and cream milkshake. And then, you know, sour Skittles are not bad. Here and there. I'm a sour kind of guy, not sweet.
If the chat notices, John has had the biggest smile on his face for the last 40 seconds while he talks about food.
Yeah.
I never would have expected you to be a fat kid.
No, I was actually 200 pounds at one point in my life. I hated who I was when I looked in the mirror. I changed it, and I'm so proud of myself for it, but I know how fast I can go back to that shit.
Yes.
You know, because once you're a victim of something, it never leaves. You know, they say like, you know, people who are addicts in life, like they can get away from it, but like right when they touch it again, it could come right back like blood in the water.
Yeah.
So I'm a very all in kind of guy. I'm all or nothing, and I have a very addictive personality, so I have to be careful.
Yeah,
like really for real.
Chat says, "Don't let them fool you. Chasing girls is where it's at."
Ladies' man too, huh? Well, you're single, so you're allowed to do that.
Yeah. Listen, so like I like to meet people. I'm definitely not easy. We'll put it like that. But I like to meet people, and I like to like talk and get to know, like question people, get in confrontation, get in debacle. Like I'm one of those people that likes to push buttons. So yeah, I mean, I am single. So like if you're interested, then hit me up.
What's up, Dakota?
Yeah, Dakota. What's up,
Dakota?
Yeah, I heard she's not single though. So like, still, what's up, Dakota?
A wise man once said that boyfriends are just speed bumps.
Yeah, or goalies in soccer, and you can still score.
There you go.
Yeah, for sure. Got to shoot your shot, man. You know, life's short.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. You know, you were talking about what were you just saying? You were saying about your addictive things. Do you
Addictive
drink?
personality?
Do you drink at all? Or?
Yeah, I do. In moderation though.
Okay.
Like I like to socialize, go out. So I mean, like I'll go out and talk to people at like local dive bars by me. I'm not a clubber. I don't really like clubs like that. But yeah, no, I'll have a drink here and there. I used to smoke a lot in the past, weed, but I got away from that because like there's a lot of things that definitely would alter my personality when it comes to like, you know, brain fog or wanting to eat too much or
yeah, that plays right into your vice of eating for sure. Because everything tastes better.
And that I was fat when I was a really bad stoner. Go figure. So like, and also just clarity, right? So like memory, you know, there's a lot of things that it'll mess with. Yeah. But like,
well, you know what they say is actually pretty good for memory and cognitive function is some Nick. Have you played with the nicotine pouches at all? Have you started any of that?
Yeah. So my friend,
oh, you have.
Yeah, my friend just got me on the Zins.
What? No.
So
around here, we don't allow zinning. Okay. I forgive you for your sins.
Okay.
It's time to free you. Go ahead. There's your new nicotine pouches. We're gonna give you some frees.
I'm gonna give you a 1 to 10 rating right now.
Oh, okay. A live rating. No more Zins.
I'm supposed to feel free, right?
Hey, if you like this better, if it tastes better,
uh-huh.
Can we say we're not going to be a Zinner anymore?
Yes.
We're going to be free from now on.
Yes.
All right, let's see. We're going to do a live test here. See what he thinks about it. Got the flavor going.
Yep, definitely. I like the flavor. Definitely better than the citrus for sure than you know, Zins.
Not to be spoken of anymore.
Yeah. We don't speak about Zins. give me like 60 seconds.
All right, we'll give you some time to think about it.
I got a low tolerance, so it's gonna be quick.
Okay. Well, I gave you 12s.
What? yo, you. All right,
no, they're threes.
Yeah, dude. They're threes. I would be in the bathroom, bro. Like,
I went to the last event we had. They gave us some 15s, and
someone put like 20 of them in his mouth on one of your reels.
Someone did
like one of the fighters,
Jaime Navarrete. Yes,
yeah, he put like 20 in his mouth.
Those were 6s, but still he kept
a weigh in, right?
Yeah, he kept putting them in, and he kept them in for like 5 minutes. Like, sorry, 12 of those at 5 minutes. I'm done.
I'm on the ground.
Yeah, I'm done. I went around with 15s and we're throwing them in people's mouths.
Yeah, and
I didn't tell anyone they were 15s. I don't know what happened.
One of your funny stories. I went to Colorado like a couple months back to go train with Chris, and I never had a nicotine pouch in my life. And we're on our way to training. He's like, "Hey, you want one?" I'm like, "Sure." I think there were 6s. I was like, "Sure." I threw one in, and this was sparring day. Right. So we're driving there, and he's telling me, "Yeah, you gotta like don't swallow, like spit." So I'm spitting on the way there, and we get to the gym, and out of nowhere, bro, like out of nowhere, I got super lightheaded, and like I kid you not, there's Usman and Gaethje and all these guys getting ready to spar on the mats. I'm about to be on the mats with these guys, and I'm in the bathroom splashing my face with water. like trying to wash my mouth out, like, yo, dude, like I need to get it together right now, like about to go spar with like people I've never sparred with before, and I want to leave a good should I say like a good product out there, because you never know if I'll be back over there. But I started, it took me like 5-10 minutes to like come back, and then I went on the nuts, got a little sweaty, and then I was able to like zen back out. But it was iffy there for a second, but I was gonna let myself spar because I was nauseous. Like, bad.
Mixing set you up.
Yeah,
giving you a 6 and you never done it before.
Yeah, dude.
A 3 had me feeling woozy the first time I did it. I'm still on 3s. Like that's not.
Even my first sparring round, it like took me like a minute to wake up.
Yeah,
like I was like, where am I? Oh, that's a jab. Okay, we're here again.
I spent a lot of time out there as well, and I got actually a really funny story.
Okay.
We were training at Dwayne's.
Aurora.
Aurora.
Okay.
At Dwayne's, actually in Westminster.
Okay.
I think it's Westminster. It might be Aurora. They're right next to each other. And we were at Dwayne's school. We already been there for like 3 or 4 days, and we're going to like a night. It's supposed to be usually a chill session. So I'm like, we went out with the morning session. We went out and hung out all day. Hung out like we're in Colorado. This is back whenever like weed was just legalized. So we're like, all right, cool. Let's get high and go to Voodoo Donuts and eat some donuts and the biscuit company. And we just ate like shit.
Yeah.
And then we're going back to training at nighttime. I'm like, it'd be good to get a sweat going, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. We get there, and guess who showed up? TJ Dillashaw.
What?
Jiu-Jitsu. and at the time, Brandon Moreno.
Okay.
So he wasn't the champ. He wasn't even. I think he was in between in the UFC. He was out back in whenever. And I walk in, and I'm like, oh, I just can't wait to do this. And Dwayne's like, "You're in luck." And I was like, oh, "Yeah." He's like, "TJ and him showed up." He's like, "We're gonna get some rounds in tonight instead." We're gonna do what? And I'm not fixing to tell Dwayne like, no, but I ate donuts and I did this, and I did that. I got my ass beat for
I'm sure
every round. I'll never forget.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna go with Brandon Moreno first
because
ain't no way this guy's got jujitsu.
Yeah.
He's got jujitsu, and that was a mistake.
Yeah, just carved you up.
Before I knew it, he's on my back, and I'm like just trying to survive, and I'm like looking around, like
looking for the clock.
Why
longer?
Is this Mexican on my back right now? Mexicans aren't supposed to have jujitsu like this.
Yeah.
A lot of good times for me in Colorado. I love we used to we did an annual trip one time, 2 years in a row for 420, just to go celebrate. But the whole team came.
My sister lives over there.
Yeah. Oh, I love. Yeah,
she's in Boulder, or right outside of Boulder in the canyons.
Nice. So just like 2 hours north of Aurora area, right?
Yeah.
I love Boulder.
But they live like in the canyon, like their cabins in the canyon.
That's
so
beautiful.
No cell service. It's just Wi-Fi where they're at.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
I would love that.
They're really cool. Like 15 minutes from Eldora. It's a ski resort.
Yeah, a lot of good food too.
Yeah,
in Boulder.
Yeah, Mediterranean food's big over there.
Yeah.
Like
no, whenever we go, I literally like the Food Network. I have like an app where I can just pick all these places that I've been on the Food Network and
just map your journey.
Joey's Pancakes, and there's a pizza spot up there, like Boulder Pizza. I don't know if you ever had it, but if you haven't, it's amazing.
I'll keep it in mind. I think I'm gonna go back there. Maybe before my pro debut and get a weekend with Chris.
Okay. Yeah. Good for the elevation too. I always say, man, if you're a fighter and you don't have kids, you don't have anything holding you back, bro, travel.
Yeah.
Go to places like Denver where you can get the elevation training and new looks, different looks. And so many guys I see that are just like, they're just so content with staying. Nothing's wrong with the jungle. Nothing's wrong with Fusion or Dark Wolf.
Nothing.
But if you have the ability to leave because you don't have kids, you don't have, a real job.
Yeah.
Man, leave. Go see what it's like.
And this is actually, I like that you brought this up, because think of like when you go into a fight, it's an uncertain situation in a location you're not very familiar with, and you're going into a room you haven't been in with a lot of different people. It's the same thing when you go to a different gym. You're mimicking that same nerves, uncertainty. So you can learn so much when you go to different gyms, because you're kind of in that feel of when you go into a fight. Like it's an uncertain situation you're not comfortable in. You don't know the coaches. People aren't tending to you. So when you go to new gyms and you train and then you spar, it's almost you get more out of that than just being in the same. I mean, like if you do a trip, obviously if you stay in a certain gym, you learn a lot from one coach, but you can learn a lot about those fight nerves by going to other gyms and sparring their guys and just going, almost simulating, like a fight day in a way. And I'm not saying you got to go there and try to kill people, but you can go to another gym and work on your craft and play defense if you got crazy guys in there. Like, at some point you're going to realize that like the only way to get better at fighting is fighting. Right. And, but you got to stay healthy, obviously. So when you go to these different gyms, like when you go to Colorado, or even if you go to Thailand or any of these gyms, you're building that ability to cope with the nerves and the uncertainty and being more at peace with just, this is who I am. It doesn't matter where I go. You know what I'm saying? No, I love that.
I'm lucky. My business is the fight game. I started that when I was still fighting. So we would have an event in South Florida, and I'd go train at Coconut Creek. I'd go train at MMA Masters. I'd go train at Wagner Roca's. I would get this work in, and not every time, for the first quite a few times, I'd walk in and I'd get those butterflies. I'm about to be in a fight. Yeah. It made me feel like I was about to be in a fight.
All these guys on the mat and they're quiet and they're really getting like warming up, and you're like, okay, I don't know who it's gonna be, but it's gonna erupt.
Oh yeah, and people are looking at you like fresh meat.
Who's that guy?
I want fresh meat, and God forbid you get the better of somebody, and then it's like, okay, I'll get coaches like, hey, go with this guy next.
Yeah, and now the coach is coaching against. That happened to me in Colorado. There's a Mongolian who just won the title for Tough Enough, lightweight champ of the world. Sagoku something. I forgot. I'm trying to think of his full name. And I did a round with him, and his coach was like right in front of me in Colorado. And I did tell him as an amateur because he tried to throw an elbow and then he stopped, but like he had headgear on. And like before I got to Colorado, like right when I got there, Chris and Character Mason, like, you just got to worry about one guy. worry about the Mongolian. And I'm like, okay, on sparring day. So I'm going around and getting my rounds in. In my last round, this guy with headgear comes up to me and I'm like, sure, let's get a round. It was a 5-minute round. And who was it? I found out after the round, it was Mongolian.
The Mongolian.
And we had a great round. Like we weren't fighting or nothing, but his coach was right there coaching against him. We had some, clinches on the wall, takedown defenses. We were both throwing good kicks, good boxing exchanges, exchanged on left hooks a couple of times, like really good work. Cause then after I was like, oh, like I went with that guy. He's like, yeah, you went with him? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, that's the Mongolian. It's like he just knocked someone out cold last week. I'm like, oh, yeah. Well. And then 2 weeks later, he won the lightweight title for Tough Enough in California.
Nice.
So it was really cool situation. But like I said, you go step on the mat, you don't know who you're about to.
Yeah.
You don't know who you're about to get into it with. So you're mimicking that, and using those nerves to like just be disciplined and with your hands. You know how to fight. Your training, your instincts, just be you.
Yep.
And
it's great that you had somebody to actually give you the heads up on who to try to avoid, even though you didn't avoid him. But, there's some telltale signs. You walk into another gym. Well, number one, like you said to begin with, don't go in there thinking you're going to kill everybody. No. That's the wrong attitude.
Yeah, no.
Go in there, you're ready to learn and be smart.
Yes.
Defense.
Yes.
If you see the guy with the headgear on, maybe don't go with him for the first round.
Yeah.
You see the guy with elbow pads on and knee pads on, I might skip that round right away. But be smart the rounds you're picking. And if you have someone who's already there, ask them, hey, who would be good rounds for me?
Exactly. Yeah. But the way they work there, it's like, if you have a fight, you're on the mat for the first 3, 4, 5 rounds.
Yeah.
And then when you get in there, it's like everybody's sweating.
Yeah.
And now I'm trying to like get my warm up in. These guys are ready, like they're really sitting down on shots and they're trying to hit. She's like, fuck, dude, I'm not even warmed up yet. And I just came off a Zin. I'm like all over the place. But yeah, no, it's like I said, going to different gyms it's a really good experience. And I recommend it for any fighter that has trouble with those nerves on fight night. You got to go put yourself in the situation when those nerves are coming up more. So you know how to deal with them.
I agree 100% with that. Yeah. You kind of brought up an idea there. What's your funniest or most embarrassing moment you've had so far in the sport?
So funniest or most embarrassing with you guys, obviously. My last fight, I bit really hard on a takedown, dude. And that picture that I saw is so funny. I wish we could pop it up on this. There's a picture of, I actually don't even think it was your photographer. Drew had a photographer there. I'm going to show you it real quick.
Yeah, I want to see this.
Oh my gosh. I said it to Chris. I said, caption this.
So he fainted a takedown.
He fainted a takedown and I you're going to see this. You'll be like, what the? Yeah. Swipe to the right though. It's like an action scene. You see that?
Yeah, that's great.
It looks like I'm about to die. It looks like I'm about to get freaking uppercutted into the bleachers.
I'm gonna airdrop.
Yeah, do it. Whatever.
To Ramsey. Select. Boom. Boom. Yeah, if you threw an uppercut right there.
Oh, I was done. But he fainted his takedown and I sprawled, but then I realized he wasn't going, so my hands came up and then I didn't go to the ground. I ended up catching my feet.
Yeah.
But in that photo, it looks like I'm gonna fall right on my face right now.
It does. It looks very.
So if you look at the fight and you watch the first second, you'll see when it happened. But the picture that was taken, it looks like literally I was like
airdrop Ramsey to everyone. Oh, it's not popping up for some reason.
Yeah, well, I don't think I've had any other like embarrassing moments.
It's not. There we go. Ramsey White. We'll let everyone online see it too. It is a great picture.
It's so funny.
Both of them are great.
And I like how your logos are on it too. I guess.
Yeah.
The photographer is like, yeah, I got this guy. I got Combat Night.
Yeah, he definitely made sure he had us.
But yeah, no, I can't think of any other like embarrassing moments. I've never missed weight. That'd be super embarrassing.
I think that is for me, I never missed weight in my entire career.
Yeah.
I had some really bad weight cuts, just foolish things that I did during my weight cut. But there is no doubt in my mind, missing weight has to be the most embarrassing thing. And if it's not embarrassing, if it happens because something, who knows? I know shit happens too in MMA. People get sick, they sort of push through and they have a hard time cutting the weight. But if you're missing weight, that's to me most embarrassing thing.
Yeah, and if you do it more than once, it's like, dude, you're like, come on.
Yeah, that picture is great. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the video now and see where this happens. You said you catch yourself though.
I did, and then he shot right after. I was like, "Yo, if I were you, I would just feint it again and throw one right down the pipe, dude." Like,
yeah,
I'm thinking in the back of my mind, like, "Yo, how did I not die?" but
Yeah, that could have been bad.
I prevailed, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
I thought you were gonna ask me about the controversial finish.
Which controversial finish?
My last one. It wasn't controversial, but I would say like the cage.
Oh, you did. Yeah, you got a little, I don't know how much that helps. So you grabbed the cage a little bit as you're ground and pounding him.
Yeah, after the first 3 shots. Because I had the rear naked there, but I let go and I had his chin and I was hitting him. And I realized I was so jammed up on him, I had to like get space.
Open up.
Yeah. And then I like got out and then I kind of like fell a little forward and I put my hand on the cage and I started hitting. He's like, stop the fight. So then I was like, I really started to like try to hit him and I didn't realize what I was doing in the moment, but even though I forgot his name, but he came over to me front row and told me, hey, like you need to go look at the finish. You got to watch your fingers next time because you can get like either broken up there or a point taken away or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I appreciate you telling me. But
I think it's also too like, in the moment, it's not because the cage comes in and comes out. Like, so if you pull in the cage, you can see that you're pulling the cage in, and it was more of a put. Like you were like, like
and then my hands kind of just like, I mean, either way, like I know I can't have my hand in the cage. I just got to be better than that. Yeah, but like everything was super necessary that I had to do.
So that was a beautiful finish, and that was up. Also, that was at 55. You normally, I mean,
that dude was big.
Oh yeah,
Drew was a big boy. Even Julian was like, how did that guy make 155? Yeah. And he felt strong, but like when you're working with Bartolo in the back, it's like, yeah, you're already feeling that. So I was very like accustomed to feeling that squeeze and that I want to take you down from that kind of strong caliber of a human. Yeah. So very prepared.
Yeah. I don't know if it works or not, but I know when I was younger and in high school, my football coach is probably not accurate whatsoever, but like if we were about to bench, like 225, he'd put 250 on there and just say, hey, pick it up and just hold it and then put it back. And then I'll go to 225. Okay. So it's like, yeah, you're feeling Bartolo. Yeah. Who's an absolute unit.
Absolutely.
Everyone teases him about steroids because of how strong he is. And like, he's not. He is like the cleanest. It don't go in his body if it's not just the clean. I mean, water, food, you name it. He is on top of his health like no other.
No, for sure. Me and Mike, we get along. We talk a lot because we both have that mentality of like, what you eat is what you are. Yeah. And the fuel you put in your body is very vital. Recovery, therapy. We're both into scripture and God. So we chime off each other well. He's a good training partner for me. Yeah. And it's good to have someone with that caliber of a wrestler and that strong to have as a training partner. Yeah. Because when you go face that guy, you felt it before, and they, everybody has their own way of fighting, their own style, their own takedowns, but it's the energy, the form of energy in front of you, and having Mike, work with me, I was very accustomed to feeling that grueling, strong takedown presence in front of me. You know what I mean?
How is that free? You never told me.
It hasn't made me sick, so I would say 10 out of 10. The flavor's still chiming. I feel free.
There you go. No more.
Shout out to free. Shout out to
no
free.
more Zins. I like it.
Yeah, we threw the Zin in the bin. Yeah, it's out of here.
So we always like, we're kind of coming up toward the end of the episode here. One, I like to say I'm really happy I had you here because I learned a lot about you.
I appreciate you having me.
I love it whenever I'm talking to these younger athletes and they're so dialed in, they're so focused, and not just just on fighting, but in life in general. And sometimes I talk to guys and it's like, man, I almost feel bad. It's like, after fighting, what are you going to do? Because you're so caught up on just fighting, and your lifestyle is not really just fighting. Like you're partying and doing other things, and you're
gonna burn out.
Yeah, you're distracted by a lot of things.
Yeah, it's gonna burn you out.
So it's cool to see a guy who's one, you've already done the business thing, so you understand your dad taught you some really good work ethic and how to run a business. Yeah. So you have something after fighting, regardless. You always have something you can do and rely on with that work ethic. But again, I like meeting guys like you because I learned so much about them. But as we end the segments, we like to ask a few questions and maybe do some reaction videos. So we have a recent video here of is it Raja? Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah. Which is Rampage Jackson's son in a wrestling match. Okay. So the backstory of this is the wrestler in the crowd was talking to Raja, and he thought he was at work. He thought he was there to like be a part of the event. And they kind of got into it in the back, or they didn't get into it, but he smashed a can on his head, like a prop can, like a wrestling prop can. Boom. And then they're like, oh, he's not here to work. He's not here to work. And like, oh shit, I'm sorry. He's apologizing to him in his ear. And he's like, I'm sorry. He's like, let's turn it into a work. And he's trying to, so he kind of coaches them into like, hey, this is for show, whatever. Well, then later in the night, they have a wrestling match with each other. And this is the wrestling match we're going to watch.
So the clip I have has both of those instances.
Oh, okay. So we'll watch the whole thing then. Awesome. I'm like, can you play it over here?
That's not right. That's legal. That's not legal. That dude's a menace to society.
Yeah.
He
And they had like
He
12
crashed
guys.
out.
Yeah, like 12 guys had to grab him and like hold him against the thing as he's like losing it.
Yeah.
And
What was he on? That
right?
was some superhuman strength, bro.
Yeah.
He slammed him and threw like 20 punches and then got right on somebody and was ready for the next
And the
exchange.
slam was knocked out. He was knocked out. On the
Oh,
slam.
no, he was done. Yeah, no, that was
I couldn't
neck
even,
breaking right there.
even in a street fight. If
Yeah.
I'm in a street fight with somebody who, I don't know, called Brandy a name, once they're knocked out, I might be able to hit them once.
Yeah.
But like 12 times,
Yeah, that guy's got some demons for sure.
yeah, that makes me
There's
sick to my
something
stomach.
There's something going on there.
Apparently, Rampage said he had been concussed like a couple days earlier in training. Whatever that means.
Okay.
He did get head kicked, and actually, Rampage talked about that. Rampage wanted to go to the gym and fight the guy.
The guy who just did all that.
The guy who just did all that hit it was his Rampage's son.
Yeah.
There was someone who he was sparring a couple days prior.
I concussed him.
He threw a spinning head kick, and like, damn, he rocked him.
Wow.
So that did happen a couple days before, and Rampage was so mad about that, saying that he wanted to go to the gym and fight the guy that did it.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, something bad happening to you doesn't make an excuse for you to go do something bad to
Yeah,
somebody
we're coming
else.
back to accountability there.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah. Two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah, like you slammed him, okay. You punched him 20 times, okay. You got back up and you kept fighting. Like you're out of there. Like something's not right going on right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll
pray for him though.
That's all you can do for a guy like that.
Yeah.
We got a couple questions too. This one's kind of dated, but I'm sticking with it for right now. I'm adding new ones to the mix. 100 gorillas versus one man. Or no, shit, that's really that's gonna be a bad night for that one man.
Really bad night.
100 men versus one gorilla. Who wins?
Regular society.
Yeah, just
Or
100 men.
UFC fighters.
Just 100 men.
Well, it's a different scenario. You got 100 casuals only.
Out of 100 men, you might have one UFC fighter. We're talking about
Yeah,
randomized.
No, because 90 of those people are not there to fight.
Okay. Now you have 100 UFC fighters versus one gorilla. What do you think?
I think the UFC fighters absolutely mangle it, destroy it, whatever they wanted to do.
How many of those UFC fighters get killed?
At least one.
Only one, you
At
think?
least one.
Okay.
One's definitely dying.
Who's going first though? Or is it all at
Do I have
once?
to call out a UFC fighter?
Are they jumping them?
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Like if you're fighting a gorilla, like everybody in that room's got to be ready to go kill the gorilla. That's
At
why.
the same time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if you have 100 normal people in there, 90 of them aren't going to fight. That's why there's no chance. But you got 100 UFC fighters in there, and they're all in there to go kill that gorilla. They're going to kill that gorilla. Like everyone's grabbing a limb. It might be two people on a limb. Somebody's poking the eyes out. You know, someone's jumping on the back. Someone's kicking the skull. Like
Someone's got to get the balls.
Yeah, all of it. All of it.
They
Yeah,
all gotta
every
take-
limb,
they all gotta
buckling the
take
knees.
A 15 milligram free before they do it.
Maybe 3 of them. Whatever's right, whatever's necessary. Honestly, yeah. When you get in a situation like that, it's like whatever you have to do to get yourself in the mind to go do that, you do it.
Okay.
Whether it's 1 or 20 frees, it doesn't matter.
Gotcha.
Miles
Now-
said you got it.
Okay,
Miles said 100%.
run it.
Now we take 108-year-olds versus John Morea.
Oh gosh, 108-year-olds versus me, and it's legal.
They're jumping. Yeah, it's legal. They're
It's
jumping
legal?
on you.
Yeah, it's
And you know, I don't know if you know 8-year-olds or not, but they truly have the belief that they can beat you. That's the thing about these 8-year-olds
Yeah.
now. The world hasn't corrupted their minds to make them
Yeah.
believe that
they're
not
gonna get
capable.
corrupt though after they see 3 or 4 of them get really hurt in front of them. I'm just you want to say they're not corrupted yet? They're gonna get corrupted in that moment
But
when
they're all
they.
jumping on you.
I move too quick, brother. It's not happening. I move. My cardio is next level. Am I trapped in a room? Are we in a field? Let's be situational. About this.
We're in a room.
We're in a room like this.
We're in a
well, obviously 800.
a little bigger.
A little bigger. This.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a tough task. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. At least you're honest.
It's a tough task, yeah, for sure. But again, how are they going to react when they see me hurt a couple of them?
What if there are 108-year-olds that just spent 2 to 3 years in Dagestan?
Oh, I'm fucked. I'm getting wrangled. I'm getting absolutely wrangled.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm definitely taking some of them down with me. That's for sure.
Yeah, some of them are going out.
Yeah, but eventually it's like, you know, if one man can hold you down, 2 can rape you. So like, if you got 100 holding you down, then it's over.
Cooked.
You're cooked. You're
There
done.
you
Whatever they want to do, they're doing it. Put it that way.
If there was a celebrity fight, one person, not even a celebrity, just one person that you could fight, period, who would that person be?
Gosh, I think I got asked this already. If I could fight one celebrity, even though I don't really pay attention to celebrities, but if I could find one
Celebrity or person in history?
just person, any person,
Person, it can be person in history. It could be just one person. You if you could fight anybody, who would you fight?
I would fight. Gosh, you're putting me on the spot here, man. It's hard for me to like just point one person out. When you're willing to fight everybody, you don't really have one person in mind.
Okay, that's fair.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a tough question. But if I did have to fight one person, it would probably be somebody from my past that's tried to hurt me before. So I don't really want to give them that spotlight.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't want to.
but you know who you are.
Yeah, and if you get to that spot one day, I'll gladly smash your face in. So
There you go.
if you're watching, which you probably are, because you buy all my fights just to hopefully see me lose. But if you are here, you know who you are, and I hope to see you soon.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Don't catch him on a run.
Yeah,
It'd be a bad night for you.
No, you better hope there's people around. Put it that way. Yeah.
That's really it, man. Do you, Ramsey, you got anything?
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, ask away, bro. I love
Yeah.
being asked questions.
What is the most catastrophic thing that's happened at a Combat Night event?
Oh my God, you got enough time? There's been so many.
I just want the most.
I think the most catastrophic moment we've ever had
A fight in the
was
crowd.
no, it was at an event. It was at a place called the Scottish Rite in Jacksonville.
Okay.
We did an event there the morning of setup. We did setup the day before.
Yeah.
There's a monsoon comes through Jacksonville.
Yeah.
It's like flooding everything. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know because I'm not from Jacksonville that downtown Jacksonville floods really bad.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get to the venue. I can't even get to the venue.
Mhm.
I have to go this roundabout way to get there. There's like cops blocking everything. I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is going on?
Yeah, how are we doing this?
So I get there and I'm like, the roof's leaking everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, the roof's leaking everywhere.
Cage is set up and everything already?
Not yet. This is the day before. We're
Okay.
setting up the cage. We set up everything. There's like the roof is leaking in the seats.
Yeah.
And I'm like, talking to the people that are there. I'm like, what are y'all gonna do? And they're like city employees, like they don't care.
Yeah.
They're government workers,
"Oh,
like they don't
can't do
care.
it." It's
And I'm like, they're like, oh, we can do this, we can do that. And I'm like, well, we got to do something.
Yeah.
So I lose out on like 100 seats because they're just not gonna be able to fix
Yeah.
like the leaks that are happening in these areas.
Mhm.
Also VIP seats. So
Yeah.
I'm not happy about that.
Yeah.
We get there the next day and there's water leaking in the cage.
That's what I asked first, because that's like the worst thing that could happen there.
And the state's like, yeah, we can't do the event if water's leaking in the cage.
Mhm.
And I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Was it a
So-
pro card too?
It was a pro card.
Yeah. that
So
sucks.
I'm sitting in the cage, and I think Ramsey was there for this moment. There's a couple guys there for this moment, and I'm the owner of the people who run the venue outside of the cage. And I'm like, hey, like, what are we gonna do? Like, we got to figure this out. And he looks at me, bull face, no bullshit, and says, I guess we just got to cancel the event. I like twitched. I was like, I just turned around. I was like, all right, I need everybody over here now. We're gonna move the cage.
Yeah.
So we got everybody on deck and we moved the cage over, like we had to move it
20
like
feet.
over. Nah, it was only like a foot
Yeah.
one way and a foot
And
the
you
other
guys had
way.
the bucket on the ground.
And we had to move. Well, then the water was leaking on the corner. It was like right in the corner. But I think we positioned the cage just in the right spot to where it was like on the edge of the cage. So you'd have to be like on the cage to get leaked on. Now that is the most catastrophic moment that wasn't like
that you've overcome.
Well,
anything that's actually like ruined an event completely, like either in the middle of it or like just
even COVID-19 couldn't do that.
That's good.
So we had I don't know if you weren't around by then, but also in Jacksonville,
then, yeah.
It was like March 16th or 15th. We got told that everything was shut down. We had an event on March 21st, and they're like, you can only have 50 people in the building, and everyone else in the state canceled their events. I was actually getting calls from other promoters asking me what I thought I was doing. Like, yo, what are you doing? Our fighters are mad at us because we canceled our events, but you're not canceling your event. They're like, what's going on? Why isn't Combat Night canceling? Some of the guys fighting for us thought the fight's never going to happen. Some guys pulled out, and we pushed through, and we were going to do fights at 10th Planet Jacksonville. And then the Governor DeSantis basically said anyone who's operating a business will be shut doan if we could catch you doing, whatever. So he's like, I'm out. I can't do this. So then I called my venue back, and it was it's not around anymore. I forget the name of the building now, but I called him back, and I was like, hey, can I still use your building? And he was like, oh, well, Marv's in the back in the RV. Go ask Marv. If Marv will open it, you're more than welcome to. And I was like, all right, cool. We go find Marv. Marv's like, yeah, I'll do it. So we run and we put the cage set up there on Friday. Saturday morning, I wake up, the mayor's office is calling me. Hey, we heard you're having an event in Jacksonville, Florida. What's going on? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to follow all the guidelines. There'll be less than 50 people in the building. And they're like, all right, we're going to send over our fire marshal, and he's going to count people as they come in and go out. The way the building was made, there was like a thick enough wall that it was actually considered 3 buildings. Oh, hell yeah. So we put one corner in one building, one corner in another building, and then the fights happened in the main building, and we just had to cycle everybody through. So we were the only event in the entire world. That's crazy. The only event in the entire world on that day.
That's awesome.
And then even cooler, we didn't get a lot of publicity about it. We lost a lot of money on that event. Everyone got paid. All the fighters got paid. Stephen Koslow fought. Ramon Tavares fought. Trey Waters fought. Valentin Woodburn fought. Right there, four big names. Four guys that went to the UFC.
Exactly.
Shelby Corin fought, Koslow's wife. Nick Rorick fought with who was in his corner? What was his name? Dominic Reyes, who had just had that big war with John Jones. James Krause was there with a fighter. We had honestly like an all-star card that night. For sure. And
you prevailed. You made it happen.
Prevailed. We made it happen, and against all odds. Like everyone said, there's no way. ESPN covered it. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. And again, the only event happening in the world. And then the UFC was supposed to have an event in Tampa, and officials had just canceled WrestleMania, and the Florida State Box Commission called, or whoever their contact is with the UFC, and said, hey, this local regional show just did an event in Jacksonville. Yeah. If they can pull it off, I'm sure you guys can pull it off. So the reason that the UFC came to Jacksonville, Florida, is because of Combat Night running the event.
And I remember that card too, that Jacksonville card.
Yep. Yeah. So it's pretty cool to see how everything.
Yeah, no, that's cool. You guys, you had a situation, you figured it out, you made a plan, you executed.
Yeah.
That's what business is about though, right?
That's what it's all about, man.
That's what it's all about.
I always say, like, my job is not to solve problems. It is to find them before they even become a problem. Yeah. That is the ultimate goal. Yeah. Like if a problem does present itself, I got to solve it. But the real goal is to solve it before it even becomes a problem. Yeah. Figure it out way far in advance.
Yeah, no, prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like kind of like when you prepare for a fight. It's like, how can you see this guy beating you? Yep. Now be prepared for all those situations. And then now go make that your fight. And now you're prepared for if the worst comes. If the best comes, it's your fight, and you do what you got to do.
But unfortunately, so many guys say to themselves, there's no way he catches me in that move. There's no way he hits me with that. Yeah. I've heard so many guys say that about fights. Like, oh, I just didn't think his guillotine was that good. He's got 4 guillotine finishes. What do you mean? Yeah. What made you think it wasn't that good? So that's the right mindset, man.
Fail to prepare, prepare to fail.
John, something we always do here, we always give a gift. Now, while I don't have necessarily a gift for you, I have something that you earned.
In full, baby.
So, guys, something we do special at Combat Night with our athletes, besides knocking over our stuff. No, that was probably my fault. I got you excited. There are a few ways to win a custom belt with your name on it. And one of those ways is becoming a champ. One of those ways is defending your belt multiple times. And John Morea has done just that. He's done all those. He's become a champ in multiple divisions, even tried to be a champ in welterweight division. The guy pulled out on the day of. and he's defended his belts, and I think he's about to make the transition to a pro athlete now. But here, man, you've earned it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No,
That's
you
beautiful,
earned that,
man.
man.
Yeah.
So I would say out of the entirety of Combat Night, we're talking 200 events, 4,000 fights, hundreds of championship fights. We have given a dozen of those away to fighters that have earned
Wherever the camera is.
earned this.
There you go.
Right ahead. There you go.
John Morea, champ, baby. For life.
And again, I said it earlier.
Take that one away from me.
Champ is a very hard thing to achieve. I would say maybe less than a dozen guys have been champ.
Yeah. The weight cut was way harder in the fight.
Yeah.
So bad. So, and I weighed in 144.5. Like I had a pound and a half that I went more.
You're like, I could have drank half a pound of water.
It wasn't even that, dude. I almost, it was bad. I crawled out of the sauna. It was close.
Good.
Yeah. But I had my people there. So thankfully.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's good, man. That's another thing too, is like, I see guys all the time, like, when I go pro, I'm going to fight a weight class lower. And it's like,
You better figure that out.
try that as an amateur. Like, let's make sure your chin's good at the lower weight class. Let's make sure you can do it.
Yeah.
Let's
Your
make
body
sure
recovers.
your body
See how you
recovers.
feel in the cage.
Yes.
After you do that. And then maybe you did something wrong with the weight cut. Now you got to change it up a little
And you can
bit.
fix it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cut
So
a pound and a half too much. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Well, dope, man. Well, John, it was a pleasure having you on here,
for
man.
sure,
And I look forward to watching you make your pro debut before the end of 2025, right?
Yeah. November 8th, I plan on making my pro debut. And I'm getting ready. My eyes are set on that. And I'm looking to make a statement in the 145 division. So that's going to be my home. And if you're standing across from me, good luck.
Nice. I like it, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys. You guys have a good one. Next up for us is October 11th in South Florida. We're making our trip back there after about 5 or 6 years. Amazing stats card. Then we got October 18th in Orlando, amateur event. We got November 8th in Jacksonville, Florida, where John Morea will be making his pro debut. And then we end the year, as always, with the Super Bowl of MMA, Rise of a Warrior, Fort Pierce, November 16th. That 15th, that is going to be an amazing card as well, man. We got so many dope championship fights, amateurs and pros, and I can't wait to see them all.
Are you ready for Combat Night?